Hey, it's me, Nalthazar, and welcome to another video. In this one, we're going to be taking a look at Polukranos, the deck toolkit. If you haven't already seen my Achieving Perfection for the Hour of Devastation running this weekend, go ahead and check it out. I'm going to put links in the description below. So, Polukranos deck toolkit. So this is another exclusive that just came into the store today. It comes with 4 brand new exclusive cards. The Mythic is Palukranos World Eater. It's a Hydra. By the way, the whole deck toolkit is around Hail Hydra. So Palukranos is a 7/7 for 21, and it's going to activate 3 green gems, and if this creature is not buffed, it gets +5/+5. Otherwise, it gets +1/+1. Then, if this creature's power is 15 or greater, it fights each opposing creature. Now, it's really easy to get to this thing to 15 power, so that just makes it so that anytime you activate any of its green gems, it fights all of your opponent's creatures. So naturally, you want to make this as big as possible. Now, the other cards in the bundle are actually we're going to get 2 more Hydras. So we're going to get Hero's Bane, and this is 12 for a 2/2. And when this creature enters the battlefield, it gets a permanent +3/+3 buff. And then Ferocious, so it's activated as long as you have a creature with base power 5 or greater, and Polukranos has a base power of 5 or greater. Whenever you cast a creature, this creature gets another permanent +3/+3 buff. The other Hydra is Nessian Wild's Ravager, so it's 14 for a 6/6. And when this creature enters the battlefield, if your opponent has the same amount of loyalty or less than you, this creature fights target opposing creature. Otherwise, it gets +6/+6, making it a 12/12 for 14. And finally, the fourth and final card in the bundle is Time to Feed. It's a 9-mana spell. It's an aura. It works a little bit funky, so target creature with enchanted. No, target creature gains enchanted. When this creature dies, you gain X life. X is this creature's base toughness. Then Ferocious, so once again, if you control a creature with base power 5 or greater, your creature with the greatest power gets +6/+0 until end of turn and fights that creature. So if you enchant an opposing creature, then your creature with the highest power is going to fight that creature. And then if that creature dies, you gain life equal to that creature's base toughness. So it kind of serves as removal and as life gain. Now, once again, Octagon was really cool. They hooked me up with this bundle so I could make this video. I've had a lot of time testing and recording with this, so I've got some pretty good footage of Polukranos and his Hydra buds rampaging around. So I hope you enjoy. Let's get into the gameplay. All right, so this first match here, let's see. All right, we've got Chord of Calling, Hydra's Growth, Death Sprout. So I actually really liked Hydra's Growth with Polukranos. You want to power that thing up as much as possible. And since Hydra's Growth is effectively going to reinforce it every turn, it's going to make it so that Polukranos can survive all of its fighting because it likes to fight a lot. It's a bit of a brawler. So here we're up against Ashiok, and I'm trying to get Polukranos out as quickly as possible. So we've got the Hydra's Growth in hand. So the quicker we can do that, the better. Now, unfortunately, my opponent gets a Frost Titan down, and that's going to limit what we can do a little bit. But Death Sprout is going to be our friend here. So let's try and match and get rid of that Frost Titan. Now, as I consider matches and watch my opponent's lovely turn, you get to hear my kids, of course, in the background. Let's see. Let's move Nissa's Pilgrimage up. So when we Death Sprout that Titan, it's going to increase the cost of the first card in our hand because we're targeting it with a spell. We're going to get a Castle Garenbrig out of it because Death Sprout is amazing and way too much value. And now that Nissa's Pilgrimage is going to cost a little bit more than I want it to, but that's okay. I mean, if we can get both of those green gem converters down, then we should be able to... Oh my gosh, another Frost Titan. So we should be able to get things working pretty solidly. Now here we're going to want to get Nissa's Pilgrimage down, and then we're going to want to get Palukranos down, and we're going to want to Hydra's Growth Palukranos, and then we're going to want to go ahead and devour the Frost Titan with the Super Hydra removal kill spell. So that was a really nice lucky match right there. So yeah, let's go ahead and swap Hydra's growth. So this thing's going to make it so that the Polukranos gets +6/+0 and fights the Frost Titan, but I need Polukranos to survive that. So let's just give him a Hydra's growth, and then with the Hydra's growth, that'll give him +2 more toughness, and then his 9 toughness will out toughness the Frost Titan's 8 power. So, all right, we can undo our disable there. All right, and then let's bring a Death Sprout on up and get it ready just in case our opponent decides to play yet another Frost Titan. And then we're going to Hydra's Growth, the big guy, and we're going to go ahead and kill the Frost Titan and gain 8 life. So here's where you get to see the beautiful Hydra removal in action. And now our Polukranos is only at 1 toughness, but that's okay. He's going to be reinforcing every turn thanks to Hydra's growth. We've got a Court of Calling, which is nice, so we can start searching for more of our Hydras, and then we can give them that Hydra's growth. And oh yes, those activated gems are sweet. Now you're going to see that Polukranos here is buffing by 1/1. That's because I've already used Hydra's growth to buff it, so it doesn't get that +5/+5. It's just getting +1/+1, but that's okay. Polukranos is definitely big enough to fight the world now. So really, no matter what Ashiok plays, I mean, except, Frost Titan, which could disable it for just a turn, Polukranos is going to be putting in a heck of a lot of work. So let's actually take... No, that one's going to buff itself up, but with creatures, well, why not? It's going to buff itself up with more creatures. We're going to be getting a whole bunch more creatures. We're going to be using... I think we're pretty close to Sarkhan's third. Yeah, okay. So we're going to be able to use Sarkhan's third, get 3 more Hydras, and then do horrible, bad, unspeakable things. So let's charge up Court of Calling, and let's just see how big we can get the Hydras this match. So one of the things that's really cool about this bundle is that the cards work together really, really well. I mean, by that I mean, like, even if you don't have a very big collection, you can go ahead and put all these cards into a bundle and make a pretty strong deck. So here we're going to toss stuff from the hand. Get out, get out, get out. We got Sarkhan's third, so let's fetch 3 Hydras and let's see what we get. They're all the same Hydra. Okay, well, that's fine. So, Ashiok has more loyalty, so those are going to come out as 12/12s each, which is pretty sweet, actually. And let's take another one. Let's play 4 12/12 Hydras here with haste. So that's going to be 48/48 in haste Hydra that we're going to be able to get down here, which is pretty strong. So that'll be the end of Ashiok here for sure, and the end of game 1. So let's go ahead and showcase another game after this, so you can see more of it at work, because this was a good game right here. All right, so round 2, we've got Bolas, we've got Gem Converters, and Palukranos in our starting hand. That's pretty good. That's what we like to see. So let's go ahead, get the Gem Converters down first, and then we'll work on getting Palukranos down after that. Landfalls, yes please, and thank you very much. I do appreciate those quite a bit. So here I'm making a blue match. I'm thinking that since I've got a bunch of green conversion, and of course Bolas getting more from blue, that would make more sense. Ooh, Hydra's growth, that's perfect. So let's get Palukranos down. Let's give it that Hydra's growth. And since Bolas is at 134 health, let's see how big we can get Palukranos in this game. Sorry about that. I had to cut forward. I got a notification on my phone. I was silly and did not put it in Do Not Disturb, and Bolas got down Dungeon Geists. That's fantastic. Those are annoying. That means that Palukranos is not going to fight them, so I'm holding Palukranos down hostage until I have something to do against those Dungeon Geists. I know that I could play them, and then I could buff them up with Hydra's growth, and then they'd still be getting the buff even with all of our being disabled nonsense, but that's okay. Death Sprout, perfect. I love to see me a Death Sprout. So let's see, what would be the best match here with Death Sprout? We're gonna look for a Cascade, right? That's our best play. I don't have anything to activate with that, but that's fine. Bolas, you're gonna destroy my gems. Go for it. I've got 3 colors. You can you can destroy my random gems. And that'll be enough for Death Sprout. Perfect. So let's bring Death Sprout on up. Let's go ahead and play Polukranos. Let's go ahead and prioritize Hydra's growth, make Palukranos a big boy so that it can fight with Avaricious Dragon, because I have a feeling that Avaricious Dragon is going to want nothing to do with Polukranos. And, of course, there, way off in the background, is my computer fan starting. Avaricious Dragon decides to hit us because, you know, it's going to do that every turn, but now we get to use Sarkhan's third. So, yeah, let's definitely do that. Let's get some more. Let's get some more Hydras up in this. Who do we get? We got some more Palukranos. That's for sure. Yep, we like those. And Nessian's Wild Ravager. Actually, that's going to be really nifty because I think that our Nessian Wild Ravagers are going to be able to fight Avaricious Dragon. So I don't have to have Palukranos baiting his toughness into the dragon. So here we get to see, in the first game we got to see these Nessian Wild Ravagers boosting with that 6/6. And here, I think we're going to get to see the Nessian Wild Ravagers coming in and killing an Avaricious Dragon for me. Yeah, so we're going to go not now. We want the second one to come in and kill the dragon. Because if we fight with this one, we lose both. But here, we lose neither, and we kill the dragon. So that's a net win-win in my books. We're going to give Hydra's growth to Polukranos, which is going to make Polukranos a big boy. We've got enough devotion for our beautiful little sponge over there to give us a bunch more Hydras and to buff up Polukranos. And then, of course, we get ourselves our beautiful little kill spell. Time to feed, but there's nothing to feed on yet, so maybe Bolas will play something for us. No, there's no way. The Polukranos is going to get too big. I'm sorry, Bolas. I'm not actually sorry, but yeah, you're going to get roasted this turn, my dude. That's all there is to it. So yeah, the Hydras get really big. That's the general moral of the story. They're definitely easier to use than Tromokratos. Just that they get really big really fast, like surprisingly big. Even in PvE, PvP like this. So you're gonna see that Polukranos over here is at like, shoot, a ton, 50, right? Yeah. So yeah, we've got some big Hydras. We've got relatively decent control. Like this isn't. Yeah. Goodbye, Willis. That's it. Alrighty, so my final take on the bundle is that I was actually pleasantly surprised with it. So when I was first looking at the cards before the set came out, I labeled Polukranos as a chase card, and it looked strong to me, but it definitely plays a lot stronger than it looks. It's quite strong. The 21 mana is a little bit tough, so you have to be able to play around that. In the games that I showcased, you saw that I used a whole bunch of different things to be able to cheat it out between Sarkhan's third and using a bunch of gem conversion, stuff like that. So you definitely want to build a deck around it. That being said, the cards aren't meta warping, so they aren't like Razia when she was released. None of them are of the Eidolon of Blossoms power level. Hero's Bane is definitely a useful card. Nessian Wild's Ravager is a useful card. Polukranos is strong for sure. Time to feed. There's better removal than this. Death Sprout. I'm looking at you. But yeah, it's all in all a really solid bundle. So if you're just stuck at home like the rest of the world and you have pocket change and you want to play with some new cards, then I think you'll probably like these. If you're someone who's more strapped for cash, then I would save up. Just this is really fun and it's really strong, but it's not like you can't win without it. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in the next one.